Hey, Dawn, thanks for doing this. And Bree is obviously a big part of y'all's success over the past 2 years, but still, how good is it to see her kind of step into the spotlight on occasion?
I mean, it's awesome. I'm happy for Bree. Bree is one of the hardest workers that I've ever been around, and she's had to kind of play in the shadows of a lot of different people over the past year and a half. Obviously, she's one that has scored a lot of points in high school, and sometimes it takes a little bit longer for that to transfer over on this level. And I know it's frustrated her from time to time, but the thing is, she's never stopped working. She's never stopped working at it. I think now she's understanding where she can pick and choose her spots to be successful, and it's worked out for her. And I hope it continues because it just makes us a you know an even stronger team.
Keith and then Mitch.
Hey, Coach, obviously a lot of big performances tonight, but how about your point guard, Destiny Henderson, 14 points, 10 assists, and one turnover until late. And I think a pass was a little bit too high, but just talk about her and how she's setting the table for your offense.
I mean, I think as as destiny goes, we go. I mean, she is making herself a true asset to our team with her ability to push the ball, with her ability to make good decisions, and play heavy minutes. That's hard. I mean, it's really hard. It's taxing because she really hasn't played as many minutes as she's played over the past couple of games. She's just that reliable. She settles the ship. She pushes. She defends. I mean, she plays on both sides of the ball. So I know she's tired at this point. I was a little bit hesitant to take her out because I wanted to make sure that we had control of the game. Um, but I thought the people that came in really held serve and allowed us to rest them up a little bit more than than usual.
Mitch and then Cam Gaskins.
Hey, Dawn, do you think this is the best game your team has played this year against a good team? And do you think that your team is hitting its stride now and really playing up their potential?
I mean, it's hard to gauge it, with Arkansas because their style is so different. What I did see was, and I saw it in this game and I saw it in the Vandy game, which is engagement. I mean, we were engaged on the defensive side of the ball, meaning, they were making shots, but it wasn't uncontested shots. We were in the play. We forced Arkansas into just 13 three-point attempts. I mean, that's a stat to me that I'm truly proud of our team because we were always talking about having them to us rather than three us. But for a team that probably gets off, I don't know, 25, 29 three-point shots to reduce them down to 13, I think that's a remarkable stat against a team like Arkansas.
Mitch Brown, go ahead, and then we'll go to Cam.
Coach, obviously a month ago you were saying that this team was still trying to find their roles, their identities. Fast forward to now, and it seems like Destiny knows when to push the pace. Aaliyah taking advantage of the matchup. Victoria doing the same. Bria being the glue player. Are you starting to see this team really just start to be more confident in the roles that they're out there displaying, and obviously as they try to go in SEC play further on?
Mitch, did you say Bria? Don't say Bria to Bree.
I said Bree. My bad. I'm sorry.
Okay. I mean, yes, I think the roles are being seen a little more clear. It doesn't mean they always make the right decisions, but I think they really understand, what is necessary for them and us to be successful. And sometimes that is giving up, the good shot for a great shot, or just being connected from a defensive standpoint. So I think for the most part, where there's a shift in that understanding, and you see our players a lot better.
Cam Gaskins and then Cam Adams.
Coach, when you see Aaliyah have that kind of dominant performance on the same day that you unveil the Asia Wilson statue, it's hard not to draw some parallels. Not that there's ever going to be another Asia Wilson, but do you think Aaliyah has that potential to be a similarly dominant and impactful player for this program?
I do. I do. I mean, the numbers are to speak for themselves. I mean, for her, I don't know. She's had, 40 plus college basketball games. And if you look across the board, the some of the dominating performances. And I mean, those are Asia Wilson numbers, night in and night out. But Aaliyah's right there. I think the fact that Asia did it when there was so much pressure for her to do it, being local, in front of all of her family, her friends, and everybody in South Carolina, that's a little added pressure. I think Aaliyah is stepping toe with just being a dominant force for our South Carolina women's basketball team.
Cam Adams, and then we'll go to Greg.
Hey, Coach, your team shot 42% in the first half and then nearly 66% in the second half. Just kind of what halftime adjustments did you make to make that possible?
We had 10 turnovers, and we probably averaged less than 10 turnovers against Arkansas. Just they're not going to force you to do anything as far as pressuring you in that way. So their turnovers led to. Our 10 turnovers in the first half led to 17 points. That was a third of their points. And that's just from, us playing too fast. We have to be patient. We have to be, again, willing to give the one more, give up an open shot for a better shot, just so we can set up our transition defense. One more pass will balance our transition defense out, especially with a team like Arkansas. But I'm pleased and encouraged that we are moving towards an identity on defense, and we're moving towards just having some balance offensively, and that's a good place to be.
Greg, and then Michelle.
Dawn, we kind of talked about before the game in terms of Arkansas being vulnerable inside the paint and how much you can rely on Aaliyah there. Now that it's, we've seen what she was able to do. I mean, how much were you counting on her to put up really big numbers tonight?
I mean, we were counting on points in the paint, and and probably half of the minutes that she's played, she was actually outside the paint and facilitating a little bit more. But we knew where our bread and butter would be. I thought V would have a good night. I thought Aaliyah would have a good night. I thought LA would have a good night. And if Lily would have made some layups, she would have had a big night. So it was about us just controlling the paint. But if you look at the games that we've played, I mean, Aaliyah's had big nights. The 3 games that we played them last year, she had, double-digit rebounds and points. And then you add in, you sprinkle in 5 or 6 block shots.
Michelle, and then Matt.
Yeah, Coach Staley, if I could ask you to reflect a little bit on the emotion of the day. I know you had a game to coach, but being MLK Day, Asia's statue, what that means historically, her speech, what was this whole day like for you? Now maybe you can put it in perspective, even adding the win in as well.
It was a great day. I mean, here's why. I mean, there's a number of reasons why. We celebrated Asia in a way that her peeps here in South Carolina gave her flowers while they can smell them. And it's not often that you bestow such an honor on an individual that is so young and just recently removed from college. But that is her impact. That is her impact on this university, on this state, on this city, on college women's basketball. And I know there are people out there that once they found out that she was going to have a statue outside of Colonial Life Arena, there was some hate spewed on social media. And how can you hate? If you're a basketball enthusiast, especially women's basketball, I mean, there should be a lot more statues there should be a lot more statues of women's basketball players across the country because our game is so rich in incredible players. I hope this just starts a trend for other women's basketball college players because the impact is far in reach. So, I love that this day occurred for Asia in our program and the types of things that we do to celebrate our players. I was happy about her speech and her sharing her grandmother not being able to step foot on this campus and had to walk around the campus, but now her granddaughter is, that's going to be there forever. And then to get a win, to be able to, refocus and get our team in a place where they had to get ready for a big SEC game. Our little team is growing. They're growing up. They're able to compartmentalize their day and actually succeed. So I think it was a win for all of women's basketball, whether you are a South Carolina fan or not.
Thanks, Coach.
Matt and then Keith.
Michelle actually asked my question, so I'm good.
Thanks, Matt. Keith, and then we'll close it out with Dick.
Hey, Coach, it seems Zaya's kind of fell into a little slump the last couple of games. How do you get her going again? Because, she's really a dynamic player.
Yeah, Zaya, we need Zaya to perform, top level every time she steps on the floor. But we also have to keep in mind that she's really a young player that has huge aspirations and she wants to be great every time out. We know that journey it will take you on a curvy road ride if you play basketball long enough. I think for Zaya, what she must do is just embrace wherever her journey takes her and don't get too high with the highs or too low with the lows. She's a tremendous player. She's a great player. She's going to have a great career. But sometimes she's going to have days in which she feels like, she's not getting repaid for the work that she put in. So you got to work on other things. We're really working on her being here's what happened. Her offense wasn't where it needed to be and where she's satisfied, but it's not impacting her defense. Her defense has upped. So, as long as her defense stays where it is, the offense will come back. And I'm sure it'll come back in the form of a pretty good game against Georgia on Thursday.
And last question to Dick Cox.
Early in the year, Bree was playing really unselfish and was looking inside to the point where it looked like teams were daring her to shoot, giving her open shots. Did you talk with her and encourage her to look for a shot? And you think she feels comfortable now with her shot?
With Bree, we talk a lot about that. And we've never told her not to shoot at all. We would never tell our players not to shoot. We will say if someone's going to play 30 feet off of you, then they're probably going to be 30 feet off of you, 30 seconds on the clock, 25 seconds, 10 seconds. So you're always going to be able to get that shot off. Maybe get it a little bit later in the shot clock. And then, now I think when Bree gets her first or second shot to fall, it really settles her. So she doesn't really feel all that pressed to score the basketball. But she's making threes, she's making layups. She's very, very efficient. I hope she keeps it up, so we can have one-on-one play inside. But if I know Bree, she's going to continue to work at it no matter if they're falling or not. Her impact on the defensive side of the ball is unmatched. I'm just glad she is complimenting that with putting the ball in the hole, and I'm very happy for her.